Jason Baker, Acting Mayor of Brockville, Ontario, and longtime City Councillor here. Jason, I have been really impressed so far. We've been meeting with some of the city management. We've toured the waterfront. We're looking at some of the developments. As a City Councillor, you have to be immensely proud of some of the achievements that you guys have been having here in Brockville.
Absolutely, and we like to hear when people come from outside and they can recognize what we've recognized, and that Brockville is one of the most beautiful places to live. We are very proud of what we've accomplished here and what we continue to accomplish.
Now, we've been given some of the numbers of the development. I think it's $200 million in the next period of time. As a City Councillor, what have, an acting mayor right now, what do you feel that your contributions have been to that, and why? What is it about Brockville that's attracting all of this development?
Well, first of all, location is something that we can't change, and thankfully we don't have to. It is a benefit and a selling point. As a council and as a city, we have really strived to become economic development friendly, and we're making that more than a slogan. We truly are opening our doors. We're trying to pave the way for developers and make it more cost effective for them to find out what we have found out, and that is that Brockville is a great place to set up shop.
Now, we talked a little bit before with city management about developing boutiques and shopping and the density in the downtown core to revitalize that. What are your opinions on some of the things that you guys are doing or can be doing to help expedite that?
Well, I think it started a number of years ago when we redeveloped the infrastructure for King Street, being the central part of our downtown. Obviously, the historic architecture is there. It is the selling point. There is a policy of council that we are going to sustain and try and advance our downtown core. And so one of the things, again, like we've done with our other developments, our greenfield developments, is we've got our brownfield development program as well, and that we are trying to make it more cost effective for people to restore and improve their downtown historical properties. And we're trying to make it more viable to do business downtown as well as in our other business districts.
Can you give me an example of some of the measures you guys are taking?
There's incentive programs to cover the costs or part of the cost of remediation. When you get into historical properties, obviously the renovation costs can be more expensive than if you were building new. We've recognized that. We've tried to put programs in place to offset those costs and in fact incent people to be redeveloping properties as opposed to taking greenfield properties and running with that. So that's probably the biggest example that the city has done. That program is working. There is a cost to it, and Brockville City Council has decided that that's a cost of regeneration that we're willing to pay.
Small business, for growing a downtown, especially when they talk about boutiques or small independent businesses, how important is the development of small business here in Brockville, and what are some of the steps you guys are doing to help grow small business in the downtown core?
Well, I think the key thing is that we're trying to change our economic development policies as the times change. And what was working in the 80s is different than what needs to work now. And smaller businesses, satellite businesses, working from home style of businesses is certainly something that is more front and center now than it was 10 years ago. And we're trying to take some of the offshoots of our quality of living and attract these smaller businesses who can do business ultimately anywhere to do it here in Brockville, so they can enjoy the side benefits of living with us and yet continue to be competitive in their businesses.
Young people, retaining young people, keeping them from drifting to the bigger cities, and attracting young people and young families here. We were told a little bit about the immigration attraction program you guys are doing, but what do you as a city councillor feel that you guys are doing to help retain and attract young people to Brockville?
Well, first of all, there's two different facets. There's retaining who is here and attracting those to come. I think it's almost a passage of life. If you're a local Brockville resident, that you're going away to school, you're experiencing life outside of our region, and then you're coming back. And so we recognize that we're not going to be able to stop that. It's a cultural thing. When you grow up in a small town, you want to experience life in a city. And they do that normally through their educational years. What we're trying to do is to make it attractive for these doctors, these lawyers, these professionals, these tradespeople to come back and practice their chosen trades in their hometown. When it comes to attracting new Canadians to Brockville, we are working with the private sector in putting together information sessions and having, I guess, best practice training issues with those who are currently doing that. The engineering trades, for example, are heavily into taking new Canadians as a local talent. So we're taking and putting people in a room who are well down that path and teaching people who are looking at it for the first time what they did, how they accomplished it, what the benefits were, and what some of the challenges were. So small towns can work together more than perhaps big cities. We take advantage of that a lot, and we put different company CEOs or HR managers in a room together so there's some best practice sharing.
So if you had to come up with one point to pitch to people to come to visit Brockville, to move to Brockville, to do business with Brockville, you've got 30 seconds. Hit us with your best pitch.
Well, I think, first of all, Brockville, you see us once, you'll fall in love with what we are. What you see is what you get with Brockville. We are a small town, and we don't want to be different than that. But there are developers that are spending upwards of $200 million because they've discovered Brockville is the place that they want to be. That, to me, is the testimonial that I can tell people. If they didn't see what Brockville had to offer, they wouldn't be here with their money.
All right, thank you very much.